Hello, Joel Tubman here, technical editor of Golf Monthly, with arguably one of the most exciting equipment innovations we've seen in the last decade or so, and it's all about single length irons. And Cobra have launched their own version of single length irons. They've actually launched two heads within this concept. No upcharge for these compared to the standard conventional set of irons. For those of you who don't know, Cobra recently signed Bryson DeChambeau, who is now a PGA Tour player, using irons that are all the same length. They are all 7-iron in length, and the reason he does that is what he said creates a more consistent golf swing. When he hits his iron shots, he hasn't got to change his posture or his ball position or the distance he stands from the ball, because all his irons are the same length and the same lie angle. Now, in theory, this is a concept that should help golfers strike their irons more out of the middle. It should make them more consistent, it should make their practice more effective, and it should help them hit their long irons especially a little bit better. Now, as you know, with conventional sets, the length increases as the loft decreases, so obviously that affects the swing speed of each club. You'll probably have more club head speed with your long irons compared to your short irons, but Cobra have adjusted the club weights, the head weights of these irons, so I think the short irons are a little bit lighter and the long irons are a little bit heavier to offset the difference in swing speeds. So hopefully Cobra are saying the gapping with each of these clubs should be as consistent, if not more consistent, because hopefully you're hitting the sweet spot a little bit more than conventional irons. So now Cobra are offering two head designs in this one length concept. We've got the King F7 iron, which is a game improvement model, so a little bit more forgiving, a little bit larger head design, and then the Forged here, which is the same model I believe that Bryson DeChambeau uses. This is the one I've been testing today. A little bit slimmer, a little bit more compact, more towards the better player. So I've got a 4-iron, 6-iron pitching wedge here, all the same length obviously, all in the 7-iron length, in the KBS Tour FLT shafts, 120 grams each. Be interesting to see exactly the distances that I was hitting these clubs. I know exactly how far I hit my current clubs. So let's have a look at the numbers on the GC2 to see what the distances were like, what the gapping was like, and see if this is a concept that could benefit your game. Okay, so the all important numbers then for the Cobra King Forged 1-length irons. Let's start with the pitching wedge. This is the club I was actually worried about the most in terms of being a 7-iron length. Thought I was going to hit it a lot further than I do my current pitching wedge, which goes around the 126 yard mark in terms of carry. Looking at the numbers here, we've got an average carry of 129 yards, higher than I would normally hit my pitching wedge, but very slightly stronger in loft. This is 45 degrees. I think my current pitching wedge is 46. So I'm pretty happy with those numbers actually. Looking onto the 6-iron then, we've got average carry 167. Very happy with the numbers actually. And then moving into the 4-iron, we've got average carry 187 yards, which is, 10-yard gapping, moving pretty much through the set. You're looking at the averages. Maybe the pitching wedge perhaps went a little bit too far, but the other clubs were very good. I think it's a concept that you would be foolish to dismiss straight away. If you really struggle with your iron play, if you struggle with consistency with your ball striking and finding greens, this concept in theory should help you hit better iron shots. It takes some getting used to, there's no question about it. It'll take some time to ingrain the feeling for those different clubs that, hitting a 4-iron or a pitching wedge that is 7-iron in length. But I think once you've got over that, certainly from my testing today, I was actually surprised at how well I hit the long irons. Obviously being shorter in length, there's a good chance you will hit them more consistently. I certainly found that. It's just a question of whether that gapping is going to work for you. It certainly seemed to work for me, like I said on the numbers there from the GC2. Very surprised by how consistent the gapping was. So on the whole, I was actually very surprised at how much I like the concept with these clubs. And not only that, but Cobra have done a really good job with the heads themselves. These forged irons really are fantastic. They feel very soft, they look great, they've got this very premium finish to it. If you're a golfer that is really struggling with your irons and just want to try something new, we all like to try the latest clubs on the market, and not only are these clubs new, but the concept as well is completely new to golfers. I don't think it's a fad. I think there's genuine theory behind it. It won't work for everyone, but I think there's a lot of golfers, not just better players, but game improvers and high handicappers, maybe even beginners, would benefit from using a set of clubs that are all the same length. They haven't got to worry or adapt to the changing lengths of their irons through the set. you know, I think there's a lot of substance here. So if you're in the market for a new set of irons and you want to try something different, you want to be the talk of your 4-ball, but also you want to hit more accurate iron shots, I think the Cobra 1 length irons are certainly a concept that you should be trying, and who knows, it might deliver on all those promises. So very impressed from this Cobra, well done, and hopefully it works for you too.